AfriScience I would like to welcome everyone to webinar number 7, the monthly webinar of AfriScience Network. To present this evening's webinar is Professor Charity Aremu, the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Landmark University, Omuaran. The title of our presentation is Effective Academic Mentorship for Young African Scientists. Before we invite her to make our presentation, I'd like to introduce the chairman for this webinar in person of Professor Kainde from Osun State University. So I invite Professor Kainde. You are welcome, sir, to this webinar.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good day. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
The chairman, in addition to reading the citation of the presenter, we assist in coordinating the question and answer and comment session after the webinar presentation. So over to you, Professor Kainde, to read the profile of the presenter.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's indeed a honor and privilege for me to read the profile of Professor Aremu Charity Onye, a quintessential academic, administrator par excellence, and someone that we were together on the systems project of NUC as reviewer, author, and editor. So I go straight to the profile. Aremu Charity Onye is Professor of Agriculture from Ladoke Akintola University and now at Landmark University, Omuaran, Kwara State. She was appointed professor in 2011. She has been involved in national and international projects, including National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, Landmark University Rice Project, Bill and Melinda Gates project on cassava production and impact on rural poor farmers, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development West African Virus Epidemiology for Food Security project. Some of these projects received award and financial profiting for our university. Professor Aremu has served as a member of the NUC Committee on the 70% Agriculture Systems and a member and one of the editors of the Systems Agriculture book. Our research effort culminated into developing drought-resistant cowpea genotypes for the savanna ecologies and drought-tolerant maize genotypes for the savanna ecology from Agra grants in 2013. Charity received her educational training from the University of Ibadan and University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria. The first and second degree from the University of Ibadan, while the PhD from the University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and the PhD is in Agriculture and Climate Actions. In addition, she has certificates in computer soft skills, data management, and administrative leadership. She has a touch of horticultural training from Willow Farms, Fresno, California, USA. She's widely published as an avid researcher with over 100 articles in Scopus, Web of Science, and other national and international publishing domains. She's a resource person on driving United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. In academic administration, Charity, through privilege of service, has held and still holds leadership position as head of department and college dean, including School of Postgraduate Studies. Professor Charity is the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Landmark University, Omuaran, and now the Director, African Center for Agripreneurial Development of the same university. Professor Aremu Charity glees on musicals, cycling, and long walk to relax and refresh, and she is blessed with God's gift of a loving family. Just join me to welcome Professor Charity Aremu Onye as she delivers a lecture titled Effective Academic Mentorship for Young African Scientists. Thank you very much. Over to you, Professor Charity Aremu.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here this evening on the platform of AfriScience Network. Let me start by appreciating the leadership of AfriScience Network for birthing this great platform, for birthing this great academic platform. It's indeed a platform. I've been part of several platforms. I recall that day, I think about a year now or over, that I received a call. I think it was from Professor Shweto or Dr. Aremu. I know someone who is passionate about this platform called me and requested that I be part of this AfriScience Network. I asked 1 or 2 questions that day, and the feedback, I knew that the person that called me is an academia. And so I just gave him my words. I said, go ahead and add me. So since then, I really have been, receiving some insightful, encouraging, and inspiring, messages, information from AfriScience Network platform. So I want to recommend this platform to the global community. And I know it's equally global because I see some persons there. Even now, right here, I can see many participants from across the globe outside Nigeria. So it's a wonderful platform. It's a quality academic platform, to which I do not take for granted. So thank you, Dr. Aminu or Professor Aminu, Professor Shweto, for bringing me to this platform. I quite appreciate and highly esteem everyone here today. Now, I've been given an assignment. Permit me to share my screen so as to quickly go into the assignment. I've been asked to deliver on effective academic mentorship for young scientists. Let me start by, first of all, I have tried to appreciate the AfriScience platform or network. Greetings from my university here, Landmark University, which is situated in the north central, of Nigeria. Coming from Lagos, I think it's about 500 kilometers away. And from Ilorin, it's just about 180, 150 kilometers. So less than 2 hours, you're in Landmark. Just on your way to Ekiti, you will see to your right, the quality signpost. This is the entrance gate of my university, as you can see here on the screen. And so I welcome us virtually now to Landmark University. As I speak, I think our temperature is about 32 degrees centigrade. You will say it's hot. And then towards evening, as the evening is gradually coming up, declining to the evening, our temperature falls to between 23 and 28. Before we are now receiving the Harmattan season here in Omano. I wouldn't know for our various locations how it feels there. That is why in the early morning today, I tried to check out the temperature. It was around 24 degrees centigrade, quite cold. It was hazy. And this evening is tending towards being more hazy. So that is Landmark temperature and our short weather forecast as I speak with us this evening. Moving forward, my topic to speak on, like in the earlier slide, is effective academic mentorship for young scientists. My name has been earlier flagged, Professor Aremu Charity. I want to thank God for the privilege I have to be an academia. I am proudly an academia. And I know all of us here on this platform, we are all proudly academia. This evening, now, what are we looking at under effective academic mentorship? I have rolled out some key areas of attention here. Introduction, understanding mentorship, academic mentor and mentee in perspective, that is still understanding them. What are the key components we look at when you look at a mentor, when you look at a mentee? And then what are the indicators? What do you need to see? What are the things that makes for one a mentor, that makes for one a mentee? All of these things, God will help us to unravel this evening. And then there must be some advantages, some take-homes, something that will excite you to look forward to, associating with a mentor. And so that's what we call the value in choice, the value in choice, the effectiveness of your choice. So, and after that, we will take some questions. I will lead in asking us some questions, which I've captured in my slide also. So let all of us get ready with our pens. We will ask questions. And I believe Dr. Aminu, if he's here right away, please note anyone that is able to answer the questions for a Christmas take home on a lighter note. Now, moving forward to the number one on the outline on what to do this evening. Yes, I have captured this first slide in this presentation. The earlier ones are the preambles, the introductory protocols, and title. Now the presentation has commenced with the slide. And I want to use this slide to bring up my introduction. It was Brani quotes. I got this from Junaid Dia's quotations. He said, colleagues are a wonderful thing, but mentors, that's where the real work gets done. We are all colleagues. I tell you, when you graduate on our graduation day, after the convocation ceremony, you see them throw their caps. Some of them that are close to you, they come to you, shake hands, you pull them to your chest, you celebrate them. It's like saying, thank God I was part of making you. And the next thing that occurs to me on such days is to say, hey boy, hey girl, do you know we are now colleagues? Oh, some of them will say, what do you mean, ma? Yes, you have earned a degree. And the journey to an academia has commenced for all of us, for those of you that want to take your niche, that want to cut a niche in academics. And they say, oh my God, ma, you mean I'm your colleague? I cannot be your colleague. So what I'm trying to say here is anyone that graduates with a degree is already a colleague. You don't have to be a professor to be my colleague. As much as we share the same academic roots, the first degree is the academic route. Anyone that has that academic route is a colleague. Now the question is, can such a colleague be a mentor? Anyone you call your colleague, your next door official neighbor, your next door official neighbor in your office, as a university don, as a polytechnic don, as a researcher from a research institute, we are your next door neighbor, no matter the status, either a professor or even a teaching assistant, is your colleague, sirs and ma. And so the question is, all of these colleagues, can they be a mentor? And also, can a mentor be a colleague? So with this understanding, the question is, what is the difference between a colleague and a mentor? Now, to further broaden this, permit me to say that all of us are privileged to be mentors, as well as colleagues. As much as we're able to wake up in the morning, get to the classroom, impart the students, no matter the level, even at PG, postgraduate level, we're already practicing that name or that singular word called mentorship. As much as we're able to open our mouth, say something in the school, in our homes, any environment we find ourselves, we are mentors. And so this presentation is just to further espouse, or rather incite, or open up our understanding into what it is to be a mentor, into what it is to be a mentee. That is what we want to further situate. It's not that we do not know or we do not practice it before now. All of us seated here, all of us listening to me, we are all mentors. We are all mentors, and that is the calling of our profession. As much as we are in the academic world, as much as we are in the research world, we are called to be a mentor. And so this evening, we just want to see how God will help us to further situate this honor, this privilege, or this special tag given to all of us as mentors. We want to situate it so that I'm able to understand better what I must look forward to in ascribing the name mentorship to myself, or in ascribing the name mentor to myself or to yourself. And so with this explanation this evening, let me see how I can further situate it in this next slide. This next slide talks about appreciating mentor-mentee relationship. Now, the first button here, that is those of us that understand colors, I think, is this custard yellow or deep, whatever, deep brown or whatever? Okay, it says academic excellence pursues us in every way. Sazama, before you can rise to the echelon, before you can even climb the ladder of an academia, excellence must be part of you. Anyone that considers publishing in quality outlet, you must embrace, espouse, own the word excellence, or else you just be dropped by the roadside. I remember my very first article to Francis and Taylor. I think I was just an AL. And to me, I thought I had done the best, dear colleagues listening to me. So when I pushed that article forward, that night I was so excited. I said to myself, wow, Charity, you are now becoming a serious academia. You are now going to publish in a Francis and Taylor outlet. That night I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. I just got married. So, and my husband saw the joy in me. He said, you're so excited. I said, man, I'm climbing the ladder. He said, how? I said, I just submitted an article to Francis and Taylor. Do you know the first 1 month, there was no feedback, 2 months, no feedback, 3 months, no feedback. Eventually, I had to write again. You know the feedback I got? Oh, I received something in our mail, and I think it's in the trash. That was the feedback I got. I said, what? In the trash? What does this mean? That was all the feedback, sir and ma. And I didn't know who to call on. I had no one to explain what that meant to me. It was much later in the years of my struggle as an academia, as a young lecturer then in Ladoke Akintola University. It was much later in the years that I got to know that the meaning of that is that your article is nothing but a trash. That's to tell me that there was a wide gap in me. I had no mentor. That's the definition. That's the meaning. So the role of a mentor, we have to understand that academic excellence is every day pursuing you and I. Are you a mentor? Are you a mentee? If you do not drive in the pathway of excellence, you cannot get attached to become a quality academia or a global competitive academia. You must embrace excellence. And that is why the next one says, turning the tables by facing it headlong. That is what I think anyone that wants to be a mentor, that wants to be a mentee must appreciate. You must see yourself as facing the task and not pushing it sideways. It's a mindset we must develop as an academia, as a mentor, that, oh, I want to face a task, and that task can be driving the goal of my mentee. And so the question I want to ask, which is the third one now, is, the question is, who defines the excellent pathway? Who defines the excellent pathway in academic mentorship? Is it the mentor? Is it the mentee? And then the next question is, who assists in turning the table? Now, the table turning now is the goal, is the task, is the question you want to answer. Is that research that needs attention? Is that workload that you need to work upon to achieve result? That's the table you have to turn. But who turns it? The first one is who identifies the excellent pathway. Now, who turns that table? Who works on that goal? These are questions. Is it the mentor? Is it the mentee, or both? Therefore, let me say the next one here. Grappling with academic demands requires self-appraisal. Grappling with academic demands requires self-appraisal. Who are you? Are you a serious academia? Are you a serious researcher? Do you trivialize issues, questions, concerns, agitations? Do you take matters seriously? These are the questions you must answer before you can own the name mentor. And so permit me to say here that the model experience over the years is to see the way we can address academic excellence. That is the model that is in practice for any serious academia or serious institution, to see the way we can address academic excellence. That's all about academic mentorship. If we're able to understand this slide, I think we may even say, let's close this meeting at this point, because this slide actually unveils to us the need for you to identify yourself with excellence, the need for you to identify a goal and drive it, the need for you to own responsibility as a mentor and as a mentee. Now, moving forward in this presentation tonight, let's move to understanding mentorship. Who is a mentor? Or how do we define mentorship? Mentorship is an act, is an activity, is a doing word, is a word of practice. And what does it practice? What does mentorship do? It's an advisement. It provides information, provides directives. Mentorship is a platform where you build confidence, where you build resilience, where you support the psychosocial, where you support psychosocially your mentee. You must be able to provide advisement. You must be able to provide the way. This is the way to go if you want to attain this goal. And how do you work on this way? That is the work of a mentor. You identify the way, you provide the protocols or the methodology towards arriving at the destination of result. And that result carrying along with it excellence. That is the work of a mentor. And that is what mentorship is all about. And that's why this, my arrow after this red bracket, you will see this is all about achieving academic goal, academic objective. Once we're able to embrace this understanding of who is a mentor or mentorship. Now, the next thing is, let's see how we can appreciate, understand, differentiate between a mentor and a mentee. Anyone that wants to answer the name a mentor must be trusted. And not just being trusted. Let me start by this. You must have a strong knowledge base of the field you are working on before you can be pronounced a mentor. because there's this popular adage that says you cannot give what you do not have. So for you to be called a mentor, you must be outstanding in your field of academia. In that your niche you have carved for yourself as an academia, you must be outstanding there. And what makes you outstanding there is that spirit of excellence you have been carrying along with. And so that's the first thing you must tell yourself. Because the world today is in the palm of our hands. Any information you are looking for, the students already have it. Your mentee already have it. So you must stand out as a mentor. And in you standing out, you must own that your niche, such that no matter the question your mentee comes with, you are able to deal with it. And that is when you earn respect. So the first thing is you must be sound simply in your field of academia. And then the next thing that follows it is trust. Can anyone that calls you a mentor trust you? Oh, when I get to him, oh, when I get to her, I know I will receive the answer I'm asking. I know I will receive the answer to my questions. That's where the trust comes. Oh, I am sure to meet him at this time because this is the time he has created for me. Let's go. I'm sure he will be there. That's the word trust. Let me put a call through to him. I know the time to call him that he will pick my call. Okay, let me send him a text. I know he will read and give me feedback. Okay, let me drop a note for him because this is not the right time for me to visit or to go to him for questions or to go to her for questions. Let me drop a note. I know he will respond to my note. This is what is defined as trust. So a mentor must be trusted. A mentor must stand strong in his niche of academia. A mentor has to be painstaking. These days, we have so many competing demands around us. So many things asking for our answers. So many things demanding our attention. But that notwithstanding, you must be seen to multitask. That's what I mean here by painstaking. A mentor must be seen to multitask. If you are not multitasking, you will not have time for your mentee. I hope we are following because we are trying to define who is a mentor. I know we are all of this, but I'm sure there will be, even if it is just one slide, that you will take home from tonight's meeting because it's our role after all. It's the calling we have after all, like I said earlier on. So a mentor must be seen to multitask, especially in the world of VUCA that we live in today, where the whole world is complex, where everything around us is volatile. You don't know what may happen the next moment, where everything looks ambiguous, complex, competitive. So we must still be able to stand strong and multitask. That is when your mentee will appreciate you. And so as a mentor, we must also see ourselves as appreciative. We are all man, born in human flesh. Nobody's an angel or a spirit being. And so we must be able to appreciate our mentee. No matter what they have done, someone will say, oh Lord, cover my mistake and magnify my little effort. That's what we should be. We should be able to cover the mistakes of our mentee and magnify their little effort. That's when we are humane. That's when we are appreciative. We must be able to say, no, no, no. Yes, you have done this wrong. This is not correct. But I think you did it right here. Can you clap for yourself? Even if it's only 1 out of 20 that our mentee gets right, we must be able to magnify that one. That is when we will be boosting. That's when we'll be inciting the potential in them to emerge. Because the mentees of today, they are not like the mentees of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They are not like the mentees that we were in our time. I know if all of us should be permitted, I think we should create a forum. Dr. Amino, Dr. Professor Shweto, we should be able to create a forum where all of us will sit down and share our academic experience as a mentors. Or even when we were mentees. Honestly, we should be able to create a forum like that. Although we are many in the group, but even if you give everyone, just prepare one minute to say something about the tough 30 seconds when you were a mentee, 30 seconds now that you're a mentor. Honestly, we will unravel so many things. And so we should be able to see ourselves as being humane, being human, appreciative, understanding. And then the next thing is a listener. So many times, because I have also experienced it, I'm just trying to see if I could follow time, because every of these bullets, there are typical examples to share, especially personal. That's why, even if it's only this slide I'm able to explain, I own this slide because I know what it is. When you are painstaking, when you are humane, or when you are not humane, when you are not understanding. I visited my supervisor, my PhD supervisor, when I just commenced, because I was traveling from Ogbomoso then to Abeokuta when I just commenced my PhD. Professor Akoroda was to take me for my PhD in UI, but that year there was a benchmark. There was a maximum, not even a benchmark. There was a maximum. You cannot own more than 2 or 3 PhDs. Outside that, you will not be given a PhD student. And so I just told myself, will I sit for another 1 year? No. And then I got encouraged to go to FUNA. And because of the distance, I was initially, but I had no choice. So I commenced. Each time I get to my supervisor, traveling all the way from Ogbomoso to Abeokuta, he will say, I'm already on my way home. Why are you just coming now? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I will explain and explain. He will not understand. Sir, I will return. There will be no attention for me. Until one day I just thought over it. What is wrong? And then my supervisor was the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies. So he had so much load on him. That's why I say you have to be painstaking. So the first 3-4 months visit, it was like, just go, show face, go back. No attention, because I was going at the wrong time. And so one day I just thought over it. I started. Early morning before my then supervisor will arrive office before 8:30, I tell you. I'm sure he taught me to arrive work early. I can never be home 8 o'clock, even up till now, even when I was Vice Chancellor. Even now that I'm not the Vice Chancellor again, I will never, if you call me 8 a.m., just be sure I've gotten not less than maybe 1/3 of my task for that day done, because I arrive to my office latest 7:30 every day. Even as I speak, I got that from my supervisor. And so that morning, I got to his office. I endured. I now decided I got a place I was sleeping over. I will come a night before. Early morning, 7:30, I will be by his door. I tell you, I was always catching up with him. I will be the one to open his door, carry his bag. You say, how come? Where did you sleep? Did you sleep here? I tell you, he will give me attention before he moves out for the day. From that moment till I graduated, till I finished my PhD, even up until this moment, I remained so dear in the heart of my PhD supervisor. I listened to him. I said, okay, this is what he wanted. And I followed suit as a mentee then. And so the next thing so being appreciative and humane is important. Being painstaking is important. And then the next line here is a communicator. I mean, you may have so much within you, but the way of communicating it may not go well with your mentee. You must be able to communicate those words, even unwritten words. You must be able to communicate it effectively to your mentee. And then see yourself as not judgmental. This is not correct. You have not done it well. And you will cancel the whole pages and throw it to the face of your mentee. Sir, ma, is not correct. You must be constructive. Even if you are throwing back, even if you are saying this is not correct, what do you want her to do? What do you want him to do? You have to be constructive 24/7. That is why number one bullet is important. You must stand strong in your field of academia so that you don't push back. Don't be judgmental, be constructive. And then selfless and not restive. You are not to be restive as a mentor. You are not to be restive as a mentor. You must be selfless, give you everything, sacrificial. That is the calling. We must see ourselves as sacrificial in the assignment given us. And so, these are few for mentee. There are still so many who will get there. Now, for a mentee, who is a mentee? A naive person is a learner. There's a gap in him or her. That's why he's called a mentee. He doesn't know so much. He's not resilient. He's not hardy. He wants to learn. And a mentee is always complaining, oh, my supervisor, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, he's always asking me to do this. That's a mentee for you. And that's why they will always come to you. And sometimes they are not listeners. Once you say something like this that is not comfortable with them, they are swept off balance. And so they will even pray for another mentor. They are highly restive, highly restive. These are the qualities of a mentee that we must understand, appreciate, and embrace, or else we will miss them. Next slide, please, because I can see my time is running. Now, establishes with the mentee, that's a mentor now. The mentor establishes with the mentee his goals or her goals and objectives. You are the one to establish it, sir. You don't say, go and write your goals and bring to me. No, you are the one to initiate it as a mentor. So you are the one to initiate even the relationship so that the mentee will relax in your hands. But however, you must allow the mentee to take responsibility. You are not to rank zeros for him or her. You are just to show, you are just to provide information, but permit that mentee to take responsibility. So this is what qualifies us as quality mentors. And then again, let me say this because it's very important. You must maintain professional relationship, and you must not intrude into the mentee's personal life. This is very key. You must maintain professional, academic, that's all. Unless that mentee says, sir, ma, can I share this with you? And even in the sharing, you must create boundaries. And then if you identify that that mentee is trying to step beyond the boundaries, please stop. Please stop and get another mentor for him or her. You can get back to your HOD, you can get back to your dean, you can get back to your superior, but not creating a conversation of concern over the mentee. As much as you discover that this mentee is stepping beyond boundaries, because we live in a wicked world, the mentee may be having some other notion or motive. So you must identify such extension in the boundaries and stop the academic relationship and push forward. Because we must be careful of our profession. Like you have the medical profession, they have their rules and etiquettes. What are our rules and etiquettes as academic professionals? And so now, what are the key components of a mentor? Let's look at it quickly because of our time. I've just gone halfway my slide. The key components. What do I mean by components? I mean, what works? What makes the mentorship work? What inspires the role? What propels the role of mentorship? Outside the definition of a mentor or mentee, outside the indicators of a mentor or mentee, what is it that you can see as components? Like people will see, if you want to make a pot of maybe a wedu, what are the components for making a wedu? What are the components for making ogbono soup? What are the components, for making a egusi soup? Okay, you say, okay, melon, dry melon, or whatever, or pepper. So now, for mentorship, what are the components? One, self-identification is number one. Like we said earlier on, who am I? Am I sound in my field? Who am I? Am I a weakling? So that you tell yourself, I don't want a female mentee. Who am I? Do I communicate so well? So that you begin to tush yourself up in communication. Some of us, we speak English as our local language. I know one of our guys that somebody said, I'm sorry, I'm speaking in vernacular. We must be able to identify ourselves, tush ourselves up where necessary, so that we are acceptable anywhere. That's self-appraisal. Then you look at yourself, am I compatible with this mentee? It's not cast on stone that you must supervise someone, no. That you must be a mentor to someone, no. It's not cast on stone. So you must be able to understand, do we really flow? Can I flow with him? Can I flow with her? Before you make the choice of mentee or mentor. So you have to determine your choice, because it's a choice. You are not under compulsion to pick him or her as a mentor or mentee, because you must guide something jealously, your job and your degree. This is key. You must guide your degree you are pursuing, or else it will terminate before the time, or else the job will terminate before the time. And so we must be able to make this choice, appraise ourselves, and make a quality choice. And then understand the context of mentorship. Like I said, it's academic mentorship. It's not family mentorship. By the time you begin to combine academic with spiritual, with family, with social, you are derailing. You must be able to define what the call is, academic mentorship, and stay on the lane. Don't step beyond academic mentorship. That is the context of the mentorship. So if we're able to understand this model, which is here, I think it will go a long way in defining quality academic mentorship. Now to the indicators, because we have about 10 minutes more. Character is key. Somebody said character is the currency of your value, and your value will determine your worth, and your worth is what people will appreciate. And so character is key. Educational background is the central. That's why I put it in center, because you cannot give what you don't have. Then your passion is key. Commitment and passion and attention. These are the things that these are the things you consider in a mentor or mentee. Your care and follow up. You don't just give instruction and go to bed and, in case the mentee does not come, you look for him or her, you follow up. Even as a mentee, in case your mentor does not look for you, you look for him or her as a mentee. And so it's key, and above all, we must embrace discipline. That's why I said there must be boundaries. You place boundaries. So we must maintain, and all of this will give us the ability to deliver as a mentor, and then the ability to receive and move forward our goal as a mentee. It's key we understand these indicators in the journey of academic mentorship. Still on qualities, creating potential relationship and expanding on your network can become valuable in the future. We must look at this as a mentor. Self-fulfillment in having a footprint in the student and time of chance. So we are just looking at qualities of a mentor. I'll still bring this up in the latter part. So let's move on. Academic mentorship, interpreting the situation as one that involves some sort of moral judgment. That is the mentor at the center. That's the mentor at the center. All of this goes on in the head of a mentor. I as a mentor must be able to interpret the situation. I must be able to make a choice and act morally. I must be able to decide on the best course of moral action. Because if I do not give my mentee the time and opportunity to express him or herself, I will be delaying the timing for the degree. I will be working overtly or covertly on the morals of even the mentee. So all of these are important for me here, situated at the center as a mentor. Now there are barriers to accessing quality mentorship. I tell you, sir, if you are looking at a mentor, there are barriers. And what are they? Societal norms. We have traditional gender roles and stereotypes. Don't go to him, oh. It's too hard. I remember I had, when I was the Dean of School of Postgraduate Studies, a young man was posted to me as a support staff. Yeah? The young man, he received a lot of advices. You better tell your wife that you're not be coming home. You are going to work with Professor Aremu. She will work you out. She will so engage you that you won't even have time for your family. Better go to registry and tell them and beg them to change you. I do hear this when they post people to me. And so when they now come to work, after 3 months, I just see them change. I say, what's happening? So at the end of the year, I do what, like the year is ending, I do hold a special meeting with anyone posted to me. We take Christmas lunch together. I ask questions. Now, how do you see me? And I'll tell you how I see you as my staff. And so during such times, they unfold what people must have told them. And then they end it up by saying, Ma, I thank God I came working with you. I have learned so much. So there are so many stereotypes on whosoever that, is a quality mentor. Because a mentor wants excellence. Anyone that's called a mentor must pursue excellence. And the first thing I tell anyone working around me is the word mediocrity is not in my own dictionary. So if it is in your dictionary, please delete it. That's what I tell anyone that comes to work with me. So we must, and people may interpret this and create a stereotype out of it. So these are barriers. Limited access, barriers to education and lack of resources impede women's entry into, like I just cited this one as an example, because so many people, they want to look down on women as mentors. And so they create a lot of stereotypes to put them off Don't go to that woman, no, she won't have time for you. That man, he will always tell you stories. Don't make him your mentor. Meanwhile, there are quality things in such a man. There are quality things in such a woman. So all of these things, they create barriers for the mentor. For the mentee. And so what are the values and benefits of quality mentor? Palpable results. You can be sure. When you have a mentor that's always there for you, you will have your result. And that result will be palpable. People will see the result. And then you as a mentor, you are fulfilled. Even the mentee is fulfilled because you are able to follow up with the indicators and the definitions we have given to a mentor and a mentee up there. And then you catch up with lifelines, because I tell you, when you are pursuing excellence, when you are looking at attacking the objective and goal, absolutely, you will work with lifelines. And then you have value for time. Like I told you my own story. Each time I go to my God, those times when I just started, he said, I'm sorry, I don't have time again. You are coming at 3 p.m. Is it because you travel from Loud? He won't even want to consider the distance for me. And so I had to change my mind. And what I learned from him is still speaking in me today. I have value for time. Because my Oga had value, my boss then, my supervisor then, my mentor then, he had value for time. So we must be able to respect time, respect lifelines. Some people call it deadlines. You must be able to follow through assignments. If your PhD is 3 years, ensure you work within this limit and don't extend it. And let your mentor and mentee have this mentality. Attracting goodwill, people will appreciate you. Your university, your research institute, your organization will appreciate you because you work with lifeline, because you are aimed at producing results. And then it helps to create networks. It increases your network. You are current, because one quality thing about mentors, they must drive thematic areas. We are in the 21st century. Academically, we are in the 24th century. And in fact, we are moving beyond that now. Today, we are in the world of green energy, blue oceans. How many of us are able to drive in this currency? And so it subdues stereotype mentality. Anyone that is in the act of mentorship, you must see yourself as killing the word stereotype, because the stereotype creates glass ceiling. In academia, as a woman, I try as much as possible to prevent and avoid this glass ceiling in the name of stereotype. And so we are looking at expanding, enriching ourselves in networking. And then finally, someone said, mentoring is a business. We must see it as a business. And again, he says, it's been true in my life that when I have needed a mentor, the right person shows up. Will our students be able to say this about us? Will our mentees be able to say this about us? Will people around us that see us as a mentor, will they be able to say this about us? That it's been true in my life that when I have needed a mentor, the right person showed up. It was Ken Blanchard that said this. Can I as Charity say that about my mentor? Yes. Can you, all of us seated here this evening, say that about our own persons that has been leading us in one way or the other? So these are take home for us. And then again, our popular man, John Maxwell, I love this man so much. I read his books. He said, one of the greatest values of mentors is the ability to see ahead what others cannot see and to help them navigate a course to their destination. Sons and man, this is our assignment. We must be able to see what others do not see. We must be able to appreciate what others do not know, and then be able to take our mentees through those things they do not see. Take our mentees through those things they do not know. This is our assignment as mentors. I want to appreciate us this evening for this time you have given me. And let me end with these questions for us. You know, I said we will take home some things. I want us to write these things down. The first question, I tried asking it earlier. Now, or the last question, the third question here, I asked it earlier. Now, the first question is this: is a supervisor a mentor? Is a supervisor a mentor? Number two, how can a mentee identify a potential mentor? That's question two. How can a mentee identify a potential mentor? And lastly, can a colleague be a mentor? These are my questions for us as I await your questions. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very, very much, Professor Charity Aremu. Before the question and answer session, I want us to give a round of applause using the Zoom, the reaction icon, and even our hands. We can use our hands, we can use the icon. She deserves a round of applause for this very great presentation, very educative, very inspiring presentation. Thank you so much for giving us value for our time. We appreciate you. We have a lot of take-homes. We have been told that we are all mentors. The overall goal of mentoring is helping our mentees to achieve academic excellence. And the last take-home I had, that we should define the context of mentorship, that it should be strictly academic mentorship. So those are some of the take-home. So we have 20 minutes for question and answers. I'll open the floor for questions. But the mode that we take, if you have questions, you use the hand raising icon to indicate that you have a question, and maybe we take the first 5 questions and we allow Professor Aremu to react. And if we have further time or we have more time, we continue with that method. So thank you very much. So over to the audience. You can use the hand raising icon to indicate that you have question, then I can recognize you. Okay, if you have questions, please, can you please indicate with the hand raising icon? Okay, Ikechukwu Igbokwe, 1. Any other? Sheriff William, 2. Sheriff Williams, 2. Any other? Okay, Zau Y, 3. Any other? Okay. Okay, Francis Ajayi, 4. Any other hand, so that we can have the questions? Any other hand? Okay, we have 5 hands. Folashade, Fakon, Folashade. Okay, we have 5. Please, we can start with the question. Ikechukwu Igbokwe, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. From your own experience, what are the factors that can lead to failure of mentorship arrangements? And how can they be avoided? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The second person, please just go ahead with your question in that order.
All right. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Professor Aremu. My question goes thus. Unfortunately, it's part of the question in the take-home. How there are some other people whom have taken you as a mentee by virtue of your potential in other disciplines. But in trying to restrict the question to academic mentorship, I'm an early career staff in OAU. How do I identify mentor in my field of discipline. Thank you.
Okay. The next person, the next participant, please, your question.
Okay.
That is Zaud Dunyan.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Adrian from Liberia, West Africa. I'm presently in Nigeria, going through a study at the University of Federal University of Technology, Mina. My question is there a link for one to apply for mentorship from this organization? 2, is the mentorship program or internationally recognized for anyone to participate? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Dr. Francis Ajayi, please, you can ask your question.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Now, my own situation is I have a supervisor, and the supervisor has not been playing the role of a mentor according to the training tonight. How can I make my supervisor to become a mentor to me? Or if he doesn't want to become a mentor to me, how can I get a mentor that can mentor me in my own discipline? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Then Folashade Fakonkun. Over to you, Folashade Fakonkun. Okay. Then if she's not ready, Saddam Musa Hilo. Saddam Musa Hilo. Your question?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. My question is, the Prof earlier mentioned in our presentation that we have moral mentorship, family mentorship. Hello?
Hello, please, go ahead.
Prof, she earlier mentioned in her presentation that we have family mentorship, academic mentorship, spiritual mentorship. So my question here is that the mentorship, the academic mentorship she explained can be applied generally to every aspect of life. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first 5 set of questions, I want to yield the floor to Professor Aremu to respond to that question. Yeah, thank you. I hope you took note of all the questions, man.
Yes, I tried to.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, the chair of this special sitting today. Let me start by answering the question. Number 1, you see, effective academic mentorship for young scientists. That's the title of today's presentation. And mentorship failure, I tell you, sir, is real. Mentorship failure in our academic institutions today, in research institutions today, is real. And why? Because our mentees of today are not the mentees of many years back, like I said earlier on. So we must expect mentorship failure. And that is why the role, the indicators I earlier stated here comes to play. So to address failure in mentorship is something you must do with every utmost zeal and zest in you so as not to waste your academic time. And in order to address it, you take this back to your department, and please do it respectfully. Get back to your department that you are having a failure in your mentor. And you need to work with time, because your PhD, your master's time, you need to run with the stipulated time in the university calendar. And so you must not allow any failed mentor to deter you. You have to take the bull by the horn, get back to the department and find a lasting solution, either to change that mentor. That's the way to go. And I will advise you take this seriously, or else the time will run out. And so to address it, sir, you humbly get back to your department. Look for your HOD. And even if it is the HOD that's the issue, look for an elder in that department. And don't start with saying, I'm not reporting my mentor, but my time is running out and my mentor does not have time for me. I need a change, because most of us, our mentors are our supervisors. Like I asked, is a mentor different from a supervisor? Of course, a supervisor can be a mentor, and a mentor a supervisor. All of these are real. They are interwoven. So you can change your mentor or your supervisor by doing it respectfully. Now, the second question is, as an early career, how do I identify my mentor? My dear brother, I think we stated this in one of our slides. The real character of a mentor. I think I'm sharing the slides again. Can you see it, sir? Can we see the slides again?
Yes,
Oh, yes.
Okay, fine. So
Yes,
if you want to identify your mentor, you go through these 7 bullets. Is this someone that is always criticizing you? You don't go to him. You don't pick such a person. Someone that's always judgmental, someone that's always picking on you, someone that does not see anything good in you. You don't go to such a person, please. Someone that is not always available, because that's number one you have to consider as a mentee. Someone that is not always around. Then you may even want to put a call through and it says, how dare you? So you have to watch out for persons like this, and you don't make such a person your mentor. I think you can pick from these key bullets here and see how you use that to determine, and then you also do your own self-appraisal. Look at the definition of a mentee here. And then there was one I showed a model. Yes. Are you able to know yourself? You have to be sure you are compatible with that mentor. This is the only way. These are the ways you are able to consider in the choice of mentorship, sir. The next person is Hawuwa from Liberia. He asked, is there a link to applying for mentorship? And is there any platform, international platform that you can, maximize in looking at it? And I have a good news for you. AfriScience Network has created one for you. So you can maximize this presentation today. And then if there's, after this one, just go online, click the word mentorship. You can teach yourself, sir. Like I said, the word is in the palm of our hands today. There is nothing you are looking for that you cannot get online. So even if there's no platform for it, you can also teach yourself by going online, maximizing today's privilege created by AfriScience Network. And then you can get back to Dr. Aremu or Professor Shueton, ask them questions, and then they find a way for it. They created this platform for all of us tonight, because I know the day I received the call, Ma, you'll be talking on so. I said, that's fine. And they asked if I wanted something else. I said, well, since the platform editors and supervisors and managers, they have given me a title, what am I to start worrying myself in looking for another title? So I believe this platform is sufficient, and whatever we have gained today, you can make use of it, Awuwa. And then if you need more, you go online, just put the word mentorship. So many things will come up and you learn from there. Maybe in the course of that, an opportunity may come. I know Dr. Minu has noted this, because they post so many job offers, so many webinar opportunities on the AfriScience Network. So you can maximize that platform to see an opportunity for training on mentorship. And then the next person is Ajayi. My supervisor does not play his role. How can I get a mentor? Well, this question is similar to the first one that talked about mentorship failure. You can also tell the line I explained earlier on to the first question. You get back to the elders in your department, and you do that humbly and respectfully too, so that it does not affect you negatively, and see how they can help you either speak with him or get you another person. Because one thing about life is what you know of him is what others also know of him or her. So it will be easy for them to listen to you. And since you are still in academics, they find a way to change for you. And then Folashade, okay, Folashade didn't come up again. We heard of Saddam Musa. He said, I talked about moral, families, academic, and spiritual, mentors or mentorship. And he said, academic mentorship, can it apply to every area of mentorship? As much as you're in academics, it applies to every area. But I tell you, there are specializations. We are talking about class, we are talking about academics, degree supervision, graduate supervision, and relationship. And so we are not talking about church, mosque, religion, relationship. And neither are we talking about politics or social life. So all of those ones, but let me tell you this, for every level of mentorship, for every aspect of mentorship, they have their special people there. I cannot talk about political mentorship here. Neither can I talk about family or religious mentorship here. I am to talk about academic mentorship, talking about your academic goals and aspirations, meeting up with academic methodology and protocols. But when it comes to spiritual, we have our spiritual heads. We have political heads. And so those ones we talk in their areas. And so depending on the one you belong to and which is academic, and that's why you are here. And so that's the only one we can talk about, sir. Are we together?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
I've taken
Yes.
them all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Aremu, for comprehensively attending to the questions. I can still see there are still a hand, there are two hands up. I wouldn't know whether Fola Shade Fakonkun is still wants to ask a question. I can see Samuel Wara's hands up as well. So if you're still interested in asking a question, just please, you have the floor. Go ahead. Fola Shade, please.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right, sir. And though from the question she has answered part of the question that I wanted to ask before.
Okay.
So based on your supervisor being your mentor,
Okay.
because now looking at our area now in Africa here, at times you might want to consider our supervisor as our mentor, but the way some of them used to react to us make us to run away, not to make them our mentor. They did not see themselves as our mentor. But we at times try to make them our mentor because they're supposed to guide us and put us through. So my question is, in such under a supervisor.
Okay.
That's my question, ma'am.
Okay. That is.
Is what? Please take it again because there was a cracking somewhere.
Okay. I said in such a situation where a supervisor that's supposed to be my mentor to guide me and put me through, when he or she is a type that is not ready to guide me through and I'm under him or her. So I now as a supervisor, what can I do concerning that as a mentee?
Okay. Okay, ma.
Okay, sorry, maybe did you get it, sir?
Yes, she was saying that in the case that the supervisor is uncooperative, how does the mentee handle it? Where does she go? Where does she seek help? Where the supervisor is not cooperating and the supervisor is supposed to be the mentor. Okay, let me just allow the 2 or 3 more hands that are asked that question, and we close it at that point. Samuel Warren, please, over to you. Just a minute. Zacchaeus Olani Yoluafemi, then Ogwo Onyekachi. 3 more questions. Just 1 minute each.
Thank you for the question. My own is not question, sir. My own is not question. I just want to make a clarification about the mentor and mentee. Your official supervisor may not necessarily be your mentor.
Very good. You are not answering the question.
Your official supervisor may not be your necessary mentor, but within your faculty, you can see some people that you are so admire the way they teach you, the way you interact with them naturally. That's number 1. Number 2, there is one common saying that can 2 work together except they agree?
No.
You must approach the person you admire. Sir, I wish to be my mentor. And you must be ready to accept that person. That person must be able to accept you. It's not by proxy. There must be a concrete term so that whenever the pulling is going on, pull and push is going on, the 2 of them will accept the 2. Without that, it will crash. Mentorship is not by assumption. It's by what you, okay, yes, I want to tailor my life in the manner of this person. Yes, academically. Like, to get, let me bring this one. I'm so happy to have my mama, Professor Mr. Aremu. I think if the one in Lautech, she's a plant genetics.
Yeah, yes, please round up so that we can close. We have to end by 6:30.
Up to the nonsense codon. When we are talking the genetics terms, there's one coach, she always tell us there's nonsense codon in the genetics. So I can see I could remember 2002, 2019, 1999. Okay. In Nigeria. I know her in person. She taught me. And my okay. So you must agree. Even among the judges, there are some people personally I admire them. Up to them, they are still together.
Yes.
Are you getting it? So it's a good thing, but it's a process that individual must accept. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So let's just take the last question. Ogwo Onyekachi, please, you have 1 minute. Just straight to the question. Ogwo Onyekachi.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The last speaker has just addressed what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Professor Aremu, please, over to you.
Hey, thank you so much. Well, I think it's only one question I have here. The other one is just to answer one of the questions I put forward after the presentation. When a supervisor isn't compatible or isn't cooperative, what do I do? I think this question is similar to the earlier 2. When your supervisor is not cooperating, number 1, check yourself. Appraise yourself. Remember I cited an example of when my supervisor, who later became my mentee. Initially, I was seeing him as my supervisor, but later he became a mentee. He was not cooperating initially, and I took time to ask myself why. And then I changed my methodology. And now, though it was at a cost, because I had to start planning to get a place to sleep so as to meet with him. Immediately I changed my methodology, he started cooperating. So number 1, you need to appraise yourself. What does he really want of me? Am I doing what he actually wanted of me? Okay, let me change and do it this way. It is after you have changed, and then you can now look for a senior colleague who may even be your mentor, like the last speaker has answered the question I asked. Your supervisor does not have to be your mentor. And so you must have a mentor outside your supervisor. But if you are lucky enough to have a mentor in your supervisor, awesome. It makes the job easier. So if you have an external mentor outside your supervisor, go to that your mentor. Tell him that this is what I'm experiencing with my supervisor. And if they are in the same school, they will know him or her. Because one thing about character, you cannot hide it. If you see him wrong, others may not see him wrong. And if others see him wrong, then your solution is on the way. So either you appraise yourself and see maybe you are the one not making him to cooperate, or you look for someone that will help you talk with him so that you can understand why he is not cooperating. I think that's the way forward, Sam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Charity Aremu, and a big sister as well. We appreciate you for that great presentation. As I said earlier, very informative, very inspiring. I'm sure we all have takeaways from the presentation of today. We move from here to be better mentors and better mentees. I think at this point, I would like to hand over to Professor Shueton to close the meeting properly. Yeah, thank you very much.
My hand is up.
No,
Hello?
over to Professor Shueton. The meeting is closing. Sorry. Professor Shueton, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Is Dr. Detoko online? Hello? Dr. Detoko? Okay, let me close the meeting. So we want to appreciate everyone for taking part in this presentation. Once more, we want to appreciate our presenter, Professor Charity Aremu, for the presentation. We have really geared up our interest, and you have given us new dimensions of a mentor-mentee relationship. We appreciate you, ma'am. We hope that next time in the future, when we call upon you, you'll be happy to accept our invitation. We also appreciate the chairman, Professor Kende, for doing a good job despite the short notice. We appreciate you, sir.
I trust him immensely.
The notice was very short and he did a good job. Thank you very much, Prof.
You're welcome.
Hope that very soon we also call upon you to be one of our webinar presenters. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good job. So we want to appreciate everyone for taking part in this webinar. This is our webinar number 7. We hold the webinar every month. So the next one will be in January 2024 by God's grace. So I want to use this opportunity on behalf of AfriScience to wish every one of us compliments of the season and enjoy your day and your holiday. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Yeah. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Enjoy your
Thank you all.
Yeah,
bye.
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 All right.